It is Saturday morning cartoons, and I've got a very low, sultry voice this morning. Look how fast the moon moves. The sun is in Aries. Okay, today's, let's get that. Today's the 5th of April. The sun is in Aries, okay, and the moon is in Cancer. Now, it just so happens that on my birthday, the sun was in Cancer, and the moon, and my rising sign was Aries. So I sort of identify with this. This is a little program here called Thelema. Just Thelema. It's a wonderful little thing. It shows the Thelemic date and the reshes and it's got a gematria thing to it and everything else. But anyway, today is just a few days ahead of the Feast of the 3 Days of the Writing of the Book of the Law, which occurred on April 8th, 9th, and 10th of 1904, or at least that is the story. And it just happens to be the 30-degree period and the 10-degree period that we're in right now. So the period of time that took place was attributed to the Queen of Wands. The 30-degree period that ended on April 10th. And specifically, the Three of Wands, which is the 10-degree period that ends on April 10th. Aren't those very, very compatible colors there? I'm going to read you what Crowley has to say about both those cards, because in a sense, those are the cards that, on a certain level, represent the forces that the yearly forces, the astrological forces of the yearly cycle of the sun that was going on right during April 8th, 9th, 10th. Not only that, she even rules the time period of their supreme invocation of Horus, which took place on March 20th. Okay, so this gal, from a tarot point of view, was ruling the astrological environment of Crowley's supreme ritual of the invocation of Horus. And this one zeroes in on the time period of the 3 days of the writing of the Book of the Law itself. So they should be of some interest to you. But just as a digression here, in my book Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, my personal copy, I found a letter that was forwarded to me by my publisher from Anne Kushnick in Germany. Okay, wrote me a very nice little note, but and she did it with this little poem that is just so serendipitous. Okay, the sun. The The sun will turn you inside out. The sun will turn you right about. The sun will turn within your eyes, and out of darkness he will rise. The mother has been holding him and loving and enfolding him, all nestled up with her dark, within her dark, a hope, a light, a primal spark. So let us turn into the light, encircled in the arms of night. So let us dance and jump with joy to welcome our golden boy. And a very nice letter that went with that too. So thank you very much, Ann Kushnick. Okay. Anyway, onward toward what Crowley has to say about that 30-degree period, represented by the Queen of Wands. And she represents March 11th through April 10th. So all of that preparatory work that Crowley and Rose were doing in Cairo was under that same umbrella of astrological aspects. 20 degrees Pisces to 20 degrees Aries, March 11th through April 10th. She rules the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. That 3 of Wands is that last 10-degree period that includes the 3 days of the writing of the Book of the Law. Original titles: the Queen of the Thrones of Flame, Queen of the Salamanders. It's fun to say salamanders when your voice sounds like this. Salamanders. Her crest is a winged leopard. Symbols: leopard, steady flames, a wand with a heavy head or end. Her hair is red gold. Her eyes are blue or brown. Here's what Crowley says. The characteristics of the Queen are adaptability, persistent energy, calm authority, which she knows how to use to enhance her attractiveness. She is kindly and generous, but impatient of opposition. She has an immense capacity for friendship and for love, but always on her own initiative. Unquote. So, here's what I have to say about that. The top portion of the card projects such a powerful image of supreme feminine strength and nobility that one could easily see it chiseled in stone as the facade of a great public building or monument. Unfortunately, beautiful as she is somewhat of a facade herself. Crowley goes so far as to suggest she is somewhat of a snob. Well, she deserves to be. When H. Rider Haggard wrote the classic science fiction story She, he must have had the Queen of Wands in mind. The title character is Aisha, a beautiful immortal queen who rules a land where she is known as she who must be obeyed. She is a just but ruthless queen who seems to take offense quite easily. She loves her people in a selfish sort of way, but she is so self-absorbed that when the opportunity for her to experience true love presents itself, she becomes a cruel, tyrannical, savage monster. This naturally results in her unhappiness and eventual destruction. Describing the character represented by this card, Crowley uses a wonderful expression. Quote, "When she misses her bite, she breaks her jaw." But that's the downside of this lovely lady. She can also be everything the world needs in a strong woman. Ursula Andress, who portrayed Queen Aisha in the 1965 film She, is a Queen of Wands. Underneath the mango tree. Okay. So was Joan Crawford, a real life she who must be obeyed. Two other Queens of Wands whose laws we obey are Albert Einstein and Wyatt Earp. Although I probably wouldn't have told Wyatt Earp that he was a Queen of Wands, a queen of anything. Fiery reds, yellow, and golds dominate this card, as they do all wand court cards. Okay, that's the general 30 degree period that all that was taking place in the spring of 1904 in Cairo. Now let's see what he says about the Three of Wands itself. That period of time, the reception of the Book of the Law, in a sense would give birth to everything that would follow, sort of the supernal triad under which the entire development of Thelemic magic and the new aeon would tumble into manifestation. Three of Wands, it's called virtue. See, it's Aries, Sol, and Aries. 10 degrees to 20 degrees Aries. March 31st through April 10th. The original title, The Lord of Established Strength. The Golden Dawn model, a hand, as in the Two of Wands, appears from clouds and grasps three wands in the center, two cross, the third upright. Flames appear where the wands meet. That's pretty much a Golden Dawn pattern. King scale for Bina, crimson. The four scales for Sol are orange, gold, yellow, rich amber, amber, red. The first four scales for Aries are scarlet, red, brilliant flame, glowing reds. Harris is more or less kept to those parameters. The formula is number 3, Bina of Wands at Zilith plus Sol and Aries equal virtue. It's like a formula. Graphically, this card is one of the simplest in the entire deck and holds closely to the Golden Dawn model. Harris skillfully uses each of the 10 colors of the scales to present 3 gold and amber lotus wands trimmed in scarlet and set upon an orange background of brilliant flames. The effect is one not only of brilliance, but of immense heat. It represents the primal solar energy that first penetrates the soil in the spring to awaken seeds that have slumbered all winter. Along with the aces and twos, the other 2 cards representing the supernal triad on the Tree of Life, Crowley holds all the threes in particular veneration. The aces are the unmanifest roots of their element and suit, and the twos represent the element and suit manifested as ideas. But with the threes, Crowley argues, quote, the idea has become fertilized. The triangle has been formulated. In each case, the idea is of a certain stability which can never be upset, but from which a child can issue. Unquote. In tarot, that child is the remaining small cards, the 4s through 10s. And in the Aeon, the child is the crowned and conquering child of Horus. What a truly noble and well-aspected card this is. The sun in Aries, the sign of his exaltation, and couldn't be happier. Furthermore, this harmonious and energetic marriage takes place in the third Sephirah, Bina, adding a sublime understanding to the mix. The great power and the will to use that power that we saw represented by the Two of Wands has now become fertilized and expressed in terms of character as virtue. Okay. So that's my little comment today. I know this, I've done pretty good to keep from coughing and sneezing and wheezing and hawking and spitting. And anyway, that's it for Saturday morning cartoons. Constance and I, it may not feel like we feel better, but I believe we are just a little bit better than we were yesterday. So thank you very much for your kind energy coming our way. We urge you to continue to beam that our way, and I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday school. Until then, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.